As you well know, it is just a matter of time before the next big earthquake hits, and when it does, we hope that local hospitals will be able to withstand the jolt. The ABC 7 News I-team has been checking out hospitals that are not on track to make important seismic upgrades, and talks to one expert who claims that even if they do make the upcoming deadline, it might not be enough. Dan Noyes is here with his investigation.
We all know the Bay Area is riddled with fault lines, and very close to those fault lines are some of the area's busiest hospitals. State law says hospitals have to be able to guarantee that they can function after a major quake. But we talked with an expert who claims that's virtually impossible.
1, 2, 3.
So many hospitals on Bay Area fault lines.
You can run, but you can't hide.
David Schwartz with the U.S. Geological Survey says there is a 63% chance of a major earthquake in the Bay Area by 2036.
It's simply critical that we have hospitals that people can go to and be taken care of.
After the 1994 Northridge earthquake, the state legislature passed the law requiring hospital buildings be built or retrofitted to remain standing after an earthquake. That was supposed to happen by 2008.
Compliance for this has been pushed off to 2013, 2015.
Through public records requests, the ABC 7 News I-team has uncovered at least 120 hospitals statewide will miss the 2013 deadline, including Santa Clara Valley Medical Center in San Jose. A portion of operations are still in older buildings, while a new hospital is being built. Doctors Medical Center in San Pablo is still in the planning phase. Marin General plans to build a new hospital, but hasn't yet. California Pacific Medical Center is in a fight with the city of San Francisco over building new hospitals. The hospitals have applied for extensions that could run until the year 2020. That's 12 years after the original deadline. But if the state does grant an extension, it will come with a catch.
The hospital buildings have to be capable of withstanding the forces of the earthquake and remain functional.
State law mandates by 2030, all hospitals must be capable of taking patients immediately after a quake. Paul Coleman with the Office of Statewide Planning and Development says hospitals that get that extension will have to be ready in 2020, 10 years earlier than the original 2030 deadline. One expert has doubts about the state's plan.
To assure continuous operation, to me, based on history, based on my hundreds of observations, is practically impossible.
Peter Yanev is an earthquake engineer. He has studied the aftermath of more than 100 earthquakes. Yanev claims too many things can go wrong during a quake, causing a hospital to shut down.
It's just a pipe dream to think that we can actually protect the dozens and dozens of miles of all sorts of piping and stuff inside a hospital.
Yanev points to the 2010 8.8 magnitude quake in Chile. His own photos show a hospital's exterior glass remained intact, but the inside is a different story.
The ceilings have come down here. We can somewhat protect that, not completely.
On a recent visit to a Los Angeles hospital, he discovered a major problem. The equipment wasn't properly anchored.
The piping is okay. Equipment moves 3 feet in the earthquake and rips out all the piping in that end.
Well, the facts don't support that.
Coleman stands by the state's requirements that hospitals must be functioning after a major earthquake by the 2020 and 2030 deadlines. He points to this recent test done at UC San Diego. A 5-story building built to current hospital building codes was set up with medical equipment and put on a shake table to simulate a major earthquake. The building remained standing and the non-structural elements passed the test.
If you do have good, strong building codes and they are properly enforced and complied with, that it is possible to have a building that can withstand earthquake forces.
It's a worthwhile goal, and hospitals have always supported that goal.
Jan Emerson Shea with the California Hospital Association says retrofitting or building new buildings will cost hospitals up to $110 billion. And even then, no one really knows if that will be a wise investment.
We're really not going to know for sure if all of these building standards, will prevent serious damage or allow the hospital to continue operating.
And Peter Yanev tells us hospitals should spend some time and money working on agreements with each other to transfer patients if one hospital should fail to operate in the next big quake. We're posting the full list of hospitals asking for an extension on the iTeam page at abc7news.com. Dan?
Oh, the frightening part of this is that the hospitals is what we'll depend on in an emergency.
Oh, exactly right.
All right. Thanks, Dan.